Hi, Jeannie. It's great to see you. Are the rumors true? Are you dating Anderson .Paak?
Hi, guys.
Are you?
This movie is so good.
How is it?
Beautiful, Jane.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you arriving at Andy's.
Like, I love it. You know, I think life partners are amazing. You know, yeah, I would think so.
How did you feel when the internet said you was trying to holler at Nia Long by any means necessary?
You want guys, they would start lying.
No, check it out. No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not, that ain't in my blood.
That's real.
But when you say I was trying to holler, yeah, I was, you know, but I had to be respectful because I was still, you know, finalizing, you know what I'm saying? So it was hard.
Personally, this is my quote. Real niggas don't cheat.
You don't think so?
Hell no.
I kind of understand what you mean when you say that.
They do not.
I understand what you mean.
It's something in us that makes us want to be right across the board.
It's looking like Jeannie is having a seriously rough month right now because just days after things fell apart with Anderson .Paak before they could even lock it in, Jeezy pops out and basically makes it clear he's now with Nia Long, and suddenly everything Jeannie was trying to show off just isn't hitting the same anymore. Now it's starting to feel like while she was busy softly introducing this picture-perfect new situation, Jeezy was moving in silence, building something real with Nia and waiting for the right moment to reveal it. The timing alone has people raising eyebrows, and the whole situation just looks wild from the outside. Sources close to the situation are saying Jeannie isn't brushing this off at all because it's not just about Jeezy moving on. It's about who he chose and how smooth and drama-free it all looks compared to her situation right now. But what really has everyone talking is how far back this might go. The interviews, the chemistry people noticed, the timing of everything falling apart and coming together, and how they seemed to support each other when things weren't going well. Fans picked up on the vibes early, but nobody expected things to switch up this fast.
But is that so that you are living up to the expectation that you've set for yourself? Because again, you're going back to your childhood wounds of trying to be perfect to receive the love from your mom? Or is that really where you've landed, that you want to be a man that does things the right way because you want to be honorable and you want to respect the woman that you're with? Because those are two different things.
I want to be honorable, and I'm just anybody that's real. And when I say real, I mean real with yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna hold. There's a sense of integrity there.
Meanwhile, Anderson .Paak is moving like someone who feels completely justified right now. He's out here throwing subtle shade, creating distance, and slowly painting a very different story about why he walked away in the first place, and it's getting messy fast. It's starting to look like Jeannie just can't catch a break at all because pressure has been coming at her from every direction. And this all escalated in just a few days, which makes the whole situation feel even more intense. Just recently, news broke that Anderson .Paak cut things off after barely any time together. People are saying it didn't even last long enough to be fully confirmed. Reports started circulating about concerns tied to her past comments and how they were being perceived, which added even more tension to the situation. And right when it seemed like things couldn't get more overwhelming, they absolutely did, because her ex, Jeezy, just stepped in and seemingly confirmed the rumors about him and Nia Long. That timing? Way too loud for people to ignore, and now everyone is watching how this all unfolds. Now it's being said that they're officially a couple, and insiders claim Jeannie is taking it really hard because of how this whole thing is making her look. Seeing her ex move on with someone as respected as Nia Long while she's dealing with a sudden breakup is not the kind of spotlight she wanted at all. What's wild is people have been side-eyeing Jeezy and Nia for a while now, wondering if something was going on, but they kept everything low-key, never confirming or denying anything. That quiet approach just makes this reveal hit even harder.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? In my life,
God, what happened to integrity?
My life is built on integrity.
Yeah.
That's my moral compass.
Yeah.
If I'm not integral, I'm off. Right?
Yeah.
And for me, you know, doing the work is integral, right? For me, coming forth and telling my truth is integral.
Right.
For me, taking the mask off and saying, you know what, even your favorite trapper has flaws and things that he has to work through is integral. doing a versus battle in front of the world, they know that they know who you are and what you're capable of, and you taking another approach because you want to save lives is integral.
And what really has people talking is how they reportedly supported each other through tough times. Both of them came out of long, serious relationships, and even though Nia wasn't legally married, her situation was still deep and complicated with a lot of history behind it. Things reportedly ended in a very public and uncomfortable way, with claims of broken trust that caught a lot of attention at the time. Around that same period, Jeezy's split from Nia was also unfolding, and the timing of it all has people connecting the dots. Sources are saying they leaned on each other during those moments, helping each other process everything and move forward. And now, seeing them step out together after all that, it's got everyone talking and trying to piece together how long this may have been building. An insider even jumped on social media claiming that there had been warnings given before everything came out. According to that post, Ame had allegedly been involved in more than one workplace situation, and people connected to it quickly started locking down their accounts. One reportedly deleted everything, while another turned off comments completely. It was also being said that both individuals were in committed relationships, which made the situation even more intense behind the scenes. There were even claims that one of them had ties to someone in a high-level position within the organization, which added another layer of tension to the whole situation. Reports suggested the organization had addressed concerns at least once and advised them to step back, but those warnings didn't stick. And what really has people talking is how everything unfolded afterward, because even with all this building up, Nia reportedly wasn't fully aware of what was about to come out publicly. When the official statement dropped about internal policy violations involving staff, that's when everything hit at once, not just for the public, but for her too. People were shocked by how sudden it all felt, especially with claims that the situation had been kept quiet until the last possible moment, making it even more overwhelming when it finally came to light. It didn't stop there either, because Nia had reportedly just made a huge life change, packing everything up and moving from LA to Boston, only for everything to fall apart almost immediately. The timing had people stunned, especially with claims that the situation was already on the verge of becoming public. Nia later spoke about how deeply it affected her, saying, "I literally felt like my heart had jumped out of my body." She shared that her main focus became her child, especially during such a confusing and emotional time. She explained that being there for her family was the only thing that truly mattered in that moment. She also opened up about how difficult it was watching her child process everything, especially once the situation became public. According to her, "I think the most heartbreaking thing about all of this is seeing my son's face when the Boston Celtics organization decided to make a very private situation public. It was devastating, and it still is. That kind of impact doesn't just disappear overnight."
Wow, Jeannie Mai is dragging this man through the court system. A black woman could never. Maybe we should. I can never believe or take the side of a man that has created 4 broken homes. Anytime a non-black woman marries a wealthy black man and she goes through exactly what we expect her to go through, we want to shame her. We want to say, well, you thought you were the preference. No, she was a woman in love that was love bombed by a potentially narcissistic man.
She added that there were still tough moments and expressed disappointment that no one from the organization reached out to check on their well-being. There were also reports of ongoing tension after the split, including concerns about support and communication, which only added more stress to an already painful situation. So on top of dealing with that heartbreak, she also had to step up and carry most of the responsibility for their child during that time. That's a heavy situation for anyone to face, especially with everything happening so publicly. Not long after, Jeezy filed for divorce from Nia. Just like the other situation, it quickly became clear this wasn't going to be a smooth split at all. Things started to look tense, especially when Nia shared that she felt completely blindsided by the divorce filing. She reportedly tried to hold things together and fight for the marriage, but it became obvious that Jeezy was already mentally checked out and moving in a different direction. Sources were saying she was deeply hurt and still hoping to rebuild that family unit she believed in. There were even reports saying Nia is devastated that her marriage is over and wants her family unit to be one solid unit. That kind of emotion shows just how serious she was about making it last. But Jeezy seemed focused on something else entirely, and his words added even more tension to the situation. He reportedly said he needed to focus on who I'm becoming, to focus on who's not coming with me, and that line had people reading between every word. It's still unclear exactly when Jeezy and Nia started getting closer, but fans have been speculating that it may have been during a really tense period in his previous marriage. A lot of that speculation comes from when serious allegations were brought up during the divorce process, which added a whole new layer of intensity to everything going on. According to court filings, Jeannie made claims about both emotional and physical mistreatment, describing arguments that allegedly included harsh words and threats about ending the marriage. These claims painted a picture of a relationship that had been under pressure for a while. She also described moments where she felt unsafe and detailed incidents that she said became physical, along with situations where she felt restricted during conflicts. Another account mentioned a disagreement during a night out that escalated into a tense situation while they were leaving, which she described as overwhelming and distressing. These allegations were serious and quickly caught public attention, adding even more scrutiny to the split. However, it's important to note that Jeezy denied all of these claims, pushing back strongly against the accusations. With all of this unfolding at once, fans began connecting timelines and wondering if this was around the time he started leaning on Nia for support. But none of that has been officially confirmed, leaving a lot of questions still in the air.
And yes, in my opinion, if you're a man that has several baby mothers, you are a narcissist. Because no woman signs up to be a single mother. So when you have created several of them, I know that you have problems. Jeannie Mai is now alleging that this man has abused her, put his hands on her, around her neck, all of these accusations. And also that he is an irresponsible pew-pew owner. And that their toddler has actually found pew-pews in his bag.
He pushed back hard, claiming that Jeannie was trying to get back at him for walking away. He stated the allegations are not only false, but also deeply disturbing, especially coming from someone I loved, making it clear he strongly disagreed with everything being said. He went on to call the situation a deliberate attempt to damage his reputation, saying it was a malicious attempt to tarnish my character and disrupt my family, and added that it was upsetting to see things unfold this way. At the same time, he emphasized that his main focus was being present as a father and continuing to pursue shared custody through the legal system. He also expressed confidence that everything would be sorted out properly, saying the truth would come out through the right channels. Still, the entire situation had people talking non-stop because it was layered, emotional, and very public. But in the middle of all that tension, something unexpected seemed to grow. Jeezy and Nia reportedly started spending more time together, leaning on each other through their separate challenges, and that connection slowly began to deepen.
And all the comments are women saying, that is a lie, I can't believe it, he could never. Really? You do know that she has footages and evidence and witnesses from hotel staff. Also, being irresponsible with your pew-pews in a home that you share with your partner and your child is a form of abuse. It is a typical manipulation tactic to put you in fear. No wonder Jeannie Mai moved her whole family in their house. Who wouldn't?
Fans really started picking up on it after an interview where they both opened up about their past relationships. That moment stood out, especially since it was one of the first times Nia spoke publicly about her breakup, describing it as a major wake-up call that changed how she looked at everything moving forward. She even hinted at one point that she had thought about giving the relationship another chance after everything that happened, mainly because she wanted to keep her family together. But in a powerful moment, her older son stepped in and encouraged her to choose herself and not settle for less than she deserved. That conversation seemed to shift everything, making it clear that moving forward was the only real option left. It showed a turning point where she started focusing more on her own well-being and what was truly best for her and her family. The interview itself was meant to focus on healing and growth after difficult relationships, but fans had a completely different takeaway. Everyone was locked in on the energy between them. The chemistry was undeniable, and people couldn't stop talking about how natural they looked together. That's when things really took a turn, because Jeezy later opened up and admitted he had genuine romantic interest in Nia, making it clear he wasn't just there as a friend, and that he fully intended to pursue something more.
Now that his divorce is officially finalized, it looks like things between him and Nia have really taken off. They kept everything quiet for a while, moving in silence, but now they're ready to step out and let everyone see what's been building behind the scenes. From what people are saying, they're not just testing the waters anymore. They're fully stepping into this relationship and taking it to a whole new level. And that shift has definitely caught attention everywhere.
Some of y'all women hate to see another woman put a man in his place, and that's the problem. That is the ultimate pick-me behavior. Because some of y'all always put men before your children, before their safety, before their mental health and well-being. Y'all care too much about staying on good terms with a narcissistic abuser, and that's why you envy women who stand on business and don't play those games when it comes to their child.
But Jeannie isn't taking the news lightly at all. And here's the twist. She may have already known about the relationship before it became public. That detail has people looking back at her recent posts a little differently now. She had been sharing messages about being deeply in love and feeling fulfilled, especially during her short-lived situation with Anderson .Paak. In one TikTok post, she wrote, "Life is crazy. One day you think you will never find love again. Next day you're in the most fulfilling love story you've ever known." And now people are seriously questioning the timing behind that message. And that timing is exactly why people aren't buying the narrative at face value. The internet quickly started side-eyeing those posts, with many saying it felt more like a response than a genuine moment of happiness. Some even pointed out how fast everything seemed to move, going from a sudden breakup to bold statements about being in the most fulfilling relationship. It just didn't fully add up for a lot of observers. That's why the reactions online have been so divided, with some supporting her while others are questioning what was really going on behind the scenes. At the same time, Jeezy and Nia staying quiet for so long is now working in their favor. By the time they stepped out, everything looked calm, steady, and intentional, which makes the contrast even more noticeable.
And Nia Long did an interview together, and everybody was correct. It was absolutely wonderful. They have a wonderful decorum between each other. And he pointed out something about her. She is American sweetheart, okay? She has a certain grace about her. And I think she needs to do her own show, okay? A different version of the Red Table Talk.
And let's be real, that contrast is what's driving the conversation right now. One side looks rushed and uncertain, while the other looks patient and put together, and people can't stop comparing the two. And the more people compare the two situations, the louder the reactions are getting. Social media has basically turned into a debate zone, with everyone picking sides and breaking down every little detail like it's a full investigation. Some are saying Jeannie may have tried to get ahead of the narrative by posting about her new relationship so confidently, while others think she genuinely believed it was something solid at the time. Either way, the way everything unraveled so quickly has definitely raised questions. Meanwhile, Jeezy and Nia are moving completely differently. They're not oversharing, not rushing to explain anything, and that quiet energy is making their connection look even more serious. People are also noticing how selective they've been about what they show, which is adding to the mystery. Every appearance, every moment they're seen together, it all feels calculated in a smart way, and that's keeping the attention locked in.
Now, within the clip, he does say with all the dumb stuff that men do and the resentment they have is usually coming from a place of not being seen and heard. Now, she suddenly said therapy. He continues talking about how we need to come together and talk to each other and work as a team. Now, if he means by building happy homes, building better social structures, the economy, now I'm all for that, right? But if we're coming together to talk, okay, trauma dump and trauma bond, okay, I don't think that's a fair partnership.
At this point, it's not just about who moved on, it's about who played it smarter. And that's exactly why this whole situation still has everyone watching closely. And just when people thought things might start cooling down, a new layer of speculation started building. Now, some are wondering how long this connection between Jeezy and Nia had really been developing behind the scenes. Fans have been going back to old clips, interviews, and public moments, pointing out small details that didn't seem like much at the time, but now feel way more meaningful. The way they spoke about each other, the comfort in their conversations, even their body language, it's all being re-examined. Of course, none of this has been officially confirmed, but that hasn't stopped people from putting the pieces together and forming their own conclusions. And the more those clips circulate, the more the conversation keeps growing.
At the same time, Nia's situation hasn't fully settled either, which keeps her name tied into the discussion. Every new detail on one side seems to bring more attention back to the other, and it's creating this constant back and forth that won't seem to slow down. Right now, it feels like the full story still hasn't even come out yet, and that's exactly what's keeping everyone locked in and waiting for what happens next. And just when it seems like everything is already out in the open, people are convinced there's still more going on behind the scenes. The silence from both sides is only making the curiosity grow even stronger.
Which is why I wanted to have this conversation with you, because I want to personally tell you that you embody what a well-minded, grown-ass Black woman is supposed to be like. And we stand with you always. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you, because you are my sister. And this is a safe space for me to say what I need to say. Because at times when we're at our lowest, our sisters, just like you guys need your brothers.
Because no one is really stepping in to clear anything up. That quiet approach from Jeezy and Nia is still working in their favor though. Instead of getting pulled into the noise, they're letting people talk while they stay focused, and that kind of move is being seen as confident and calculated. Meanwhile, Nia's every move is still being watched closely, with people analyzing her posts, her tone, and even the timing of what she shares. It's like no matter what she does, it instantly becomes part of the bigger conversation. Some are even saying this situation has turned into more than just a relationship story. It's now about image, timing, and who controls the narrative better. And right now, that balance keeps shifting depending on what new detail pops up. At this point, everyone's waiting to see if someone finally speaks up or if things stay quiet while the story keeps unfolding on its own. And honestly, that's what's making this whole situation feel like it's far from over, because when no one is fully speaking on it, every little move starts to look like a message, whether it's intentional or not. People are now watching for the smallest signs, likes, follows, subtle captions, anything that could hint at what's really going on behind the scenes. And every time something new pops up, it sends the conversation right back into overdrive.
And that's why this conversation was so real, because I hope and I pray that this conversation can open up different conversations in our culture about being there for each other and not being at odds with each other, no matter what we've been through. And, you know, I gotta give you your flowers. You know, you've done an amazing job at maintaining your integrity throughout your career, right?
At the same time, there's growing curiosity about how long this calm phase will actually last, because situations like this usually stay quiet until they don't. And when something finally breaks, it tends to shift everything all over again. Jeezy and Nia continuing to stay low-key might be the smartest move for now, but it's also building anticipation. The longer they stay silent, the bigger the reaction might be if they ever decide to speak openly.
And with Nia still indirectly part of the conversation, whether she responds or not could end up being the next major turning point in how this whole story plays out. And now, people are starting to wonder if a public moment is right around the corner, because with this much attention building up, it almost feels like it's only a matter of time before something major shifts. There's talk that if Jeezy and Nia make a clear appearance together or say something directly, it could completely change the tone of the conversation overnight. That kind of moment would either confirm everything people have been guessing or flip the narrative in a way no one saw coming.
As a person, as a human being, and it meant the world to me to sit across from you and just to tell you my story. As a man, I just hope that women, our women, Black women in particular, can see this and give us a safe space. Really, women all the way across the board, because we are men, we as men, like, we're hurting to be vulnerable to tell, you know, your partner that, you know, right now I'm in a bad space. We going through it out here every day. You wouldn't even imagine, right?
At the same time, Nia's next move is being watched just as closely. Whether she chooses to stay quiet or finally speak out, either decision could have a big impact on how people view the situation moving forward. What's really keeping everyone hooked is the unpredictability of it all. Nothing about this has followed a simple path, and every new detail seems to open the door for even more questions. Right now, it feels like everything is building towards something bigger, and the moment that next piece drops, it could easily shift how this entire story is being seen. And at this point, the pressure is definitely building on all sides, because the longer this plays out, the more people expect some kind of clear answer or moment that finally connects all the dots. Some are even predicting that when that moment does come, it won't be subtle at all. It could be a public appearance, a statement, or even something unexpected that instantly grabs headlines and shifts the entire conversation. Meanwhile, the online chatter isn't slowing down one bit. Every new clip, every resurfaced moment, and every small interaction keeps adding more layers to what already feels like a complicated situation. Jeezy and Nia continuing to move quietly is still keeping things in their favor, but it's also raising the stakes, because the more they hold back, the bigger the spotlight gets when they finally step forward. And with Jeannie still being a major part of the story, whether directly or indirectly, it's clear this situation hasn't reached its final chapter yet, and people are locked in, waiting to see how it all unfolds next. And now, it's starting to feel like everything is right on the edge of a major reveal. The tension, the silence, the constant speculation, it's all building up to a point where something has to give. People are watching closer than ever, waiting to see who makes the first real move. Will it be Jeezy and Nia finally stepping out in a way that leaves no doubt, or will Jeannie shift the narrative with something unexpected of her own?
And there's no safe place for us to land. There's no safe place for us to have these conversations. We can't have it with our homies. We can't have it with our brothers and our partners, because it doesn't resonate.
Doesn't translate because they don't have life
Right.
experience.
And they don't have that empathy there, right? They don't have that mothering, that nurturing thing, and this is like, for me, it's real, because, when you buried as many people as I have, right? Or seen people go to prison for long periods of time, or just seen people fall to the wayside.
What's making this even more intense is how invested everyone has become. This isn't just casual gossip anymore. People are analyzing timelines, comparing stories, and trying to piece together what really happened behind closed doors. At the same time, there's a sense that one single moment could flip everything. One interview, one appearance, or even one statement could completely change how this entire situation is viewed. Right now, it's like the story is paused at its most dramatic point, and the second it starts moving again, it's guaranteed to have everyone talking all over again. And just when it feels like things can't get any more intense, the anticipation somehow keeps growing. It's like everyone is waiting for that one moment that finally confirms what's real and what's just speculation. There's also a lot of talk about how timing is playing a huge role in all of this. Every move, every appearance, and every bit of silence seems perfectly placed, whether it's intentional or not, and that's what keeps people questioning everything. Some are even saying this situation has turned into what many are calling a serious reality check moment. Everything hitting at once, all the comparisons, all the reactions. It's a lot, and right now, it doesn't seem like things are slowing down anytime soon. Now, I want to hear what you think about all of this. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to see it.